Welcome to one of the UK's ultimate beer and whiskey towns, where every corner holds a story, every pub has a legacy, and every pint is worth discovering. But today, we're taking things a step further. We're exploring hidden gems, diving into historic pubs, checking out the best bottles in town, and uncovering what makes this place a must-visit for beer and whiskey lovers. And there's a surprise along the way.
Good to see you, Jackie boy.
Hey, Jake.
You're good?
Yeah, bracing British winter weather, but...
oh, you cannot complain, mate. With the fresh air brushing against your face like this.
Definitely.
It's a good time to be alive.
Well,
you happy? You all ready?
I'm all good, yeah, and thank you so much for coming along. I mean, this is one of my favourite towns in the UK for beer and whiskey, so
oh, yeah?
I'm looking forward to showing you around.
Oh, well, listen, I'm buzzing. I mean, thank you for coming. Obviously, we've got the distillery tour and the brewery tour, which I'm going to, need you to head up. But I think for the day, let's just relax, enjoy ourselves, get the lay of the land a little bit and see what's going on. There's a couple of pubs I want to go to.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to say lay of the land. I think I've got a special place picked out for us to go to first, a little surprise visit. And it should tick that box of seeing the lay of the land. I know you're a Wes Anderson fan.
Okay.
Moonrise Kingdom, getting those vibes.
Okay, yeah. I think I know where we're going. Okay.
So should we go there first before we go to the
Show
pubs?
the way, let's do it.
Excellent.
Mate, I tell you what, I was not expecting this. Well done. How did you even set this up? I didn't know you could come up into lighthouses.
Yeah, there's not many in the UK, I think, only about 6 that you can clamber up like this. So I thought it's a good place to start our little trip here. Great to get the lay of the land.
Get the lay of the land, exactly. God, you can see just about everything. Yeah. So you obviously know the town quite well. I thought I was going to be showing you around. There's a pub I wanted to go to called the Nelson. Mm-hmm. There's a beer and whiskey town. There's a phenomenal shop with all the beers, all the whiskies, all the bits and pieces you could ever want, which I'm going to show you. But other than that, I mean, I don't know this place very well. What's going on? What else have we got?
Well, I think we're going to go and have a look at the distillery.
The distillery is just over here.
Just down there, yeah. Have a look at the brewery. I'm particularly excited about going and doing a tour there.
Yeah.
They've got a great brewery and distillery shop. All the beer, wine, whiskey, spirits you can buy there.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. What else have we got around here? There's the high street with loads of independent kind of greengrocers, butchers, delicatessens, foodie heaven.
I drove past a really good looking delicatessen actually. Yeah, okay, fantastic.
Well, behind me here, that's the North Sea, that's Rotterdam over there. I don't think we can get to Holland and back in a day.
I'm certainly not swimming, mate.
We'll stay here.
Too cold. Let's stay here. Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, beer and whiskey town. Should we go for a pint? Is it a bit early?
Maybe a little bit early right now, but there's a really good pub hotel called The Swan. We could go grab some lunch there, maybe half.
Okay, nice half.
Does that sound good for you?
Decent lunch at a decent restaurant. Let's do it. The Swan sounds good. Show me the way.
Southwold isn't just a beautiful seaside town. It's packed with history, charm, and plenty to explore. From quirky independent shops to old-school sweet stores, cozy cafes, and local bookshops, there's a real sense of tradition here. But at the heart of it all, a deep-rooted connection to beer and whiskey. As we make our way through the town, there's no better place to stop for a bite than the Swan, a spot that's been serving up great food and drink for centuries.
Oh, I'll tell you what, mate, you weren't lying. This is a pretty fancy spot. It's a lovely menu. Happy days. You're setting me up for a day of success.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd bring you here to the Swan to start because it is such a lovely place. I mean, it's a hotel, but we're in the kind of the restaurant area, the still house.
Yeah.
They've got a tap room out the back.
I saw the tap room as we walked in. Fantastic little setup, beers, whiskey, ciders, the whole shebang, really.
And then there's a drawing room, dining room just behind us as well. But yeah, start off as we mean to go on today.
For sure. Well, actually, it's a little bit more relaxed setting, all right? Ease into the day. I'm going for a half a cider. I know because you got for your tea. Speaking of cider, though, obviously the reason I wanted you to come on this trip with us, I know we've got the brewery tour and the distillery tour over the next couple of days. you making your cider and your perry,
Yeah.
you're the perfect man to head up that brewery tour. So how is the cider making going?
It's all going really well, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah?
1,100 litres last year. It's small compared to what they're doing here, but like you've got to start somewhere, haven't you? And,
Absolutely.
And it's just fun. Fermentation in all its different forms.
Absolutely,
Cider,
yeah.
whiskey. Yeah.
And out of interest, ciders versus beers, is there much difference in because my understanding when it comes to fermentation, cider, you don't need yeast. Do you use yeast sometimes or not?
Yeah, I do. It's wild yeast, so it's like stuff that's on the fruit already. But I think what these guys are going to be doing in their cider making, but definitely in their beer making, they're going to be pitching a specific yeast. They want to control the process.
Yes,
I would hope and expect to see a lot more control in the process here when we go around.
For sure. And obviously, they've got both the brewery and the distillery here at Adnams.
That's unique, I think.
Which is quite unique. And what I'm excited to see is, my understanding is they use the same fermentation tanks across the board. Mm-hmm. So as opposed to having sort of separate distillery site with washbacks and all the rest of it, my understanding, and we will see, the proof will be in the pudding tomorrow, is same fermentation tanks for both the beer and the whiskey and the gin and the vodka and all the rest of it, right? So it'll be really interesting to see the differences. And like you say, it's quite a unique sort of oddity having it all come out of one site.
An efficient use of space, because we're here in this lovely little market town on the edge of the sea, and there's a great high street. We've got great shops and everything, but
coffee shop just down there, mate. Oh my
nice,
God, the pastries look insane. I mean, I love a coffee, but I've got a sweet tooth.
Maybe we can
pastries
fit that
and hot
in.
donuts. No, not maybe. We're fitting.
Trust
me, we're going straight there after here, mate. Absolutely.
And I do like supporting independent shops as well. So I saw there's a great independent butchers, there's a fishmongers, there's a greengrocers, a deli.
Okay.
It's all here. Like it's like a vision of what a high street used to look like back in the day.
For sure.
But it's survived.
More independence, like you say, it's important to support them. Equally, it's quite a nice laid-back town, isn't
Super
it?
chill,
Right?
yeah.
I think the idea of hopping from pub to pub, as we will do this afternoon, fine sir, it's just kind of the perfect place for it.
Yeah.
So, really, really exciting. And I tell you what, this is a wonderful little half pint of cider.
You've chosen well.
It's going down very nicely. Yeah. It is a lovely British afternoon we find ourselves in here, Jackie boy, hey?
That was a really nice meal in there.
It was delicious. I think a coffee.
A coffee sounds like a good
Coffee
idea.
and a pastry, please. Yeah, let's get in back inside.
It feels like with Nell and I, we've gone on holiday by mistake.
You've got to love the great British weather, mate. I'm sorry, I know you want to stop off at that fishmonger, but I'm just not hanging around in the rain. Maybe we stop off on the way back if it calms down. But
I think I saw the ghost of Tina Turner blowing around up there. I can't stand the rain. Tumble dry.
whiskies to warm up, mate. This is what I've been looking forward to. We're in biggest beer and whiskey town. Time to get a couple of drams. Now, I know you've got us some halves, and I want to ask you about them in a minute.
Yeah.
We've gone for some Adnams, obviously. This is their single malt.
Yeah.
So non-age statement technically, I think largely it's kind of bottled between 5, 6, 7 years old. Watered down to a flat 40%, nice and easy going, very approachable. On the other side of things, we've got one of their distiller's choice, which is a bit more limited edition. So this is a 12-year-old. I think it's a single cask, not 100%. Bourbon barrel and at a higher strength. Not sure if it's a cask strength, but it's definitely up there, 51, 52, something like that.
Cool.
So two really, really wonderful drams. And as you were saying, you wanted to do a half and half, so talk me through. We've got a half pint, another full pints.
No, I love these little dimpled half pint mugs, aren't they cute?
Oh, absolutely.
Kind of like, they've just about survived. So you've got old ale.
Okay.
The oldest beer that Adnams have brewed, i.e. they've been brewing it for the longest amount of time.
Okay.
It's a mild, which is always like a lower ABV drink before the era of lower ABVs were even a thing.
Okay, so a bit of a session beer.
Session kind of beer.
Okay.
But darker roasted malt, so the barley's been toasted a bit longer, giving it that lovely dark colour.
Oh, that's what's, okay, fantastic. I was going to ask.
I couldn't go for any other beer other than Lighthouse.
Because we are in the lighthouse. Fair enough, okay.
And again,
what's this about then?
This is a pale ale, and again, low ABV, 3.4%, so...
Nice and
I
easy
think
going?
half of it, yeah.
Okay, all right, well, slancher.
Slash.
Oh, that's good.
And real ale from the casks, so it's live in the casks in the cellar.
Fantastic. Okay, which makes a big difference. And obviously, places like this, where the beers, the ales, the ciders, everything's made in the town, it's going to be fresh as anything, right?
Yeah, you can't get much more fresh than this.
Out of interest then, how will this sort of thing travel if it was going around the country? Presumably it's going to be best right here, and the longer it's in cask.
Well, I think those casks are sturdy things,
Right.
so they can travel, but like if you've been on a long haul flight or something, you're a bit tired or a bit shook up after it. It's just the same with the casks, they need time to settle. So
Right.
when they get delivered and put in cellars, you have to give them a couple of days just to settle down.
I see.
But it's still all alive inside, the fermentation's still going on, they've primed it with a bit more sugar to feed the yeast. There's nothing else like it in the world in terms of drinks, I don't think. A brewery trusting their product to go out, not quite finished, but they're trusting the pub to finish it off for them.
It is fascinating. Yeah, you wouldn't get that sort of, I mean, God, the Scotch Whisky Association, for example, everything is so monitored and everything has to be done in the warehouse before the product goes out. So it's fascinating.
They wouldn't be like, we've done a 9-year-old, but you finish it for the final year to make it 10.
Correct, you know. And out of interest then, because it is still fermenting, will the alcohol be slightly changing? Because I know the tolerance breaks. You know, with whiskey, we're allowed a 0.3% tolerance. I think with beers below 5%, you're allowed 0.5% tolerance.
I think it will change ever so slightly, but they know they're sending out probably lower.
Within that tolerance
Yeah.
built in. Interesting. Okay, fascinating stuff.
As we sat and dried off next to the fire with a couple of halves, we couldn't resist trying a few whiskies from behind the bar. Because when in Southwold, why not? But just as quickly as the rain came, the sun was back and we were off again. Our next stop, a quirky little back room at the Crown Pub, where we settled in for a few ales. As the afternoon rolled on, we tried all sorts of beers and ciders, hopping from pub to bar, each one with its own unique charm. Some were tucked away down little alleyways, others hidden behind unassuming doors, but all packed with character. We found ourselves discovering new pours, relaxing in our surroundings, and fully immersing in Southwold's incredible drinking culture. But before heading home, there was one last stop to make.
But Jake, I just don't know what I want. I mean, we're here in Ghost Ship Corner. I love the 0.5% stuff. It's great for the right time. I've had regular Ghost Ship for the last 5-10 years. It is lovely. But
Are you leaning towards the double?
I'm kind of going this way.
Hey, listen,
So-
I think the double is what you've enjoyed the most today. I get that the Ghost Ship is that staple that everyone knows, everyone loves. You think of Adnams, I think everyone thinks of Ghost Ship, right? But
Yeah.
if the double is the one that you're leaning towards, just go for it.
Is that all right? Is that okay
Yeah,
with you?
of course,
I'm going,
mate.
all right.
I've got my cider. I'm happy with this. These Wild Waves are delicious. I also picked up a few mixers
Oh, nice.
for some whiskies. You
Mix
know,
in with the whiskies. Yeah, good choice. Yep.
whiskey and a little mixer. Why not?
Cool.
You gonna grab yourself a glass or not?
Yeah, okay, class.
Why not? Get the branding. And I tell you what I really want to do, mate. I want to grab one of those old ales. I think that's my favourite. From all the ones
milds,
we've been
okay.
to, the
Oh, good
mild,
choice.
definitely the best. I really like as well. I really like the label, mate. I just think, like, that's cool. So I'm going to get one of these.
A dark winter brew for a cold winter's day.
And you got, well, you okay, cool. You got one of both barrels?
Yeah.
Cool.
I was
I'm actually
quickly
tempted by one of them as well. You share a little bit of that with me?
It's 9%. I don't think I can have it all myself, so yeah.
All right. And if
Let's-
we really
let's
like
share
it, we
this.
can come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
What else have they got? Do you want to do a bottle of whiskey or a bottle of gin or something? Or, I mean, we've had a fair few drams already, so Jesus Christ, they've got enough choice here, haven't they?
Yeah.
Enough selection. So then,
Favourite.
how many beers we had, how many ciders we had? Not that many ciders, in fairness. What was your favourite?
Without a doubt, this one. Deep Seas.
The Deep Sea. That
Belgian
really,
Blonde.
that was one of the last ones we had as well.
Yeah.
It was just as well we continued on the crawl.
It was great. It
Yeah?
was, I love Hogarth and I love Left Blonde.
It's
Comes
along
close
those
to
lines.
that.
Yeah, definitely.
We're sat here now in the brewer's house, the old brewer's house, and it's warm. We're inside. The curtains are drawn.
It's really beautiful. It's a great setup.
In a way, I'm pleased it rained so hard on us at a certain point because it was that feeling of getting in.
Get indoors.
Get indoors, warm up. The open fire in the Nelson pub was lovely.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of look for when I go to pubs. It's like that snug feeling.
The retreat, the snow,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That open fire in the Nelson was lovely, actually,
Nice and
wasn't it?
toasty.
Yeah, really, really lovely.
What was your favourite?
The ciders, I found it really interesting to learn. And like I say, I cannot wait for this brewery tour now. With you heading it up, I feel like I'm going to learn that much more. But just listening to you kind of talk me through the different beers and the different styles and, you know, different hops and how they're used and all of that. It's just fascinating to me, you know. I find that the world of whiskey, I'm still very much at the foot of the mountain. I've got a million things to learn, and I don't think I'll ever get to the top. That's kind of the fun of it. It's the joy.
Yeah.
But when it comes to wines or ciders or other bits and pieces, and beers in particular, because I don't really drink that much beer, I feel like I know absolutely nothing, you know? And a lot of people, because I work in whiskey, I think assume that I must know about beer. And I think a lot of people don't really understand the differences between beer and whiskey. I think a lot of people think that whiskey is just distilled beer, and it's not quite that simplistic, right? Which is why that eau de vie,
that Spirit Broadside, yeah.
fascinates me. I cannot wait to talk to the guys on the distillery tour about that. Really, really interesting.
I haven't seen any other brewers across the UK do that. Like,
No.
They're normally just making their product and they want to sell it as beer.
Yeah.
And so there can't be that many other brewers that have also diversified into being a distillery as well.
Definitely, definitely. This really is a big whiskey and beer town, and I feel like we've only just scratched the surface. I'm glad that we're here for a few more days. We've got these tours to do, yeah, but we didn't even get to half of the pubs here, you know? I think there's a lot
It's a
more
good
to
feeling,
explore.
leaving wanting more. Like,
You know? I think it's really, it's a great way to explore, enjoying these half pints, getting to grips with all the little different bits and pieces, so much flavour. Like I say, I feel like I've learned a lot, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of this trip. It's going to be a good
yeah,
one.
same here.
Yeah. But an early night, I think, is needed.
Yeah.
Let's rest up and get ready.
Cool.
Sancho.
Cheers.